Sorry about the wait there, Broncos country, but now we are live. Open it up with the DB4L Michael Ronquillo. Bang! What a way to start off the live show. A $100 super chat is bananas, my friend. I appreciate you and giving us your kind donation. What is going on with my... Oh, no, I'm frozen again, Mr. JD. My computer's frozen. We're still live, so I'm going to continue to keep talking. But there we go. We're back live, and we're good. Everything's fine now. Today's just been one of those days. Can you agree with that? Today has just been one of those days. Nothing seems to be going right, but you know what? This is right. Shout out to Michael Ronquillo. Shout out to you, Broncos country, getting us started the right way. Okay, here we go. How is Matthew Peterson doing? He's doing very well. He moved recently. I'm not going to tell you where. I don't want to dox him, but he recently moved. He's doing very well with his new wife. He's living a very, very happy life right now. He's doing very, very well. I actually just talked to him it's about a week ago, actually, at this point. So Matthew Peterson is doing very well. Danny Caudle, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, let's start off this live show with our standard question. Who is your final Denver Broncos free agent target? If you had to pick one player, just one, to go out and sign, who would that player be? Who would that player be? I'm going to give some shout-outs down in the comment section, down below. Jed saying Etienne. What's up, Jed? Tyson saying Kenneth Walker. Algier from Fat Dog Fishing. Greetings from Germany, from Prime Mate. Guten Tag. Or is that good morning or good? What is that? Do you speak German? Is that? I think that is good morning. Maybe it is hello. Algier, Walker, Fave 40 saying Walker, Etienne or trade for Hall. Guys, as weird as it sounds, I still believe that a Breece Hall trade could happen. I really do. And I'll tell you why coming up here in our first episode that we've got surrounding Alex Palczewski, who, by the way, just re-signed with the Broncos on a 2-year deal. All of it's going to bleed together. Trust me. It will all bleed together. Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate that, my friend. Thanks for the kind words. Walker all day, he says. I love K9. I think K9 would be a ridiculous fit here with the Broncos. I mean, guys, he's the first Super Bowl MVP running back since TD. It makes too much sense for him to pass the torch on to Kenneth Walker. Danny, I agree that he's not the only answer. I think R.J. Harvey adds a lot of value, but not as a 3-down back. Jalen Waddle, not a free agent. J.K. Dobbins, not going to re-sign. Dobbins is the best value regarding price. Yeah, but guys, never healthy. He's yet to finish an entire season. There's been no talks about them bringing back J.K. Dobbins. It's almost 10:45 p.m. there. Wow. Oh, yeah, they're, what are you guys, like 7 hours ahead? Yeah, 7 hours ahead. Jed, I don't think he bit us bad, man. I just think, look, as much as I like J.K. Dobbins, and I do like J.K. Dobbins a lot. I think I've got a lot of respect for him. He clearly loves the Broncos. I cannot put my future into the hands of a player that's constantly injured. And I know last year was different. Hip drop tackle, it's a freak accident. But he's yet to finish an entire season fully healthy. Not one. Not one season has he gone completely fully healthy. Kenneth Walker can't block for Bo Nix. Yeah, but we have Tyler Bidet that can block for him, and we have R.J. Harvey that can catch passes. We don't need him to block. We need him to run. We need him to run between the tackles. Who else you got? You're not going to get Walker, Dobbins, and RJ, guys. It's not happening. A great player on the shelf doesn't. That's a very good point, Mary. That's a very good point. A great player on the shelf does not help you. And I don't want to bank on J.K. Dobbins only being healthy for 11 games. Rico Dowdle. I'm not as high on Rico Dowdle. Check it out. Rocking the Broncos swaggy swag today. Speaking of swaggy swag on the Broncos side of things, last chance to get your Denver Drinking Team t-shirts. We've got plenty of Broncos breakdown gear that is always rolling out. And by the way, a little birdie told me, and I'm not going to divulge too much info here, a little birdie told me that in the event that a big-time signing comes on Monday, there might be a big-time merch drop. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What just happened? It's nothing. Gunner something. Bison coming in with the $5 super chat. We'll answer that question here in a second. But remember, if you want the Denver Drinking Team t-shirt, use chatsports.com/Denver Green. We'll put that in the comments and description of today's video and live stream. I got it. I'll plug it there. It's at the top of the dock, by the way. There it is. Boom. If you want to go start shopping today, limited time only. These are only while supplies last. Chatsports.com/Denver Green. Or you can go with the beers hat. Chatsports.com/beers if you want to rock the very latest surrounding the Chat Sports merch. We are trying to do a little bit more for you guys and give you the opportunity to rock some more Chat Sports swag. Swag. Speaking of that $5 super chat, we'll answer it in a second. Let's talk about our super chat menu today that we've got cooked up for you. Plenty of stuff going on here. If you send in a $5 super chat like our friend Bison just did, he'll get 2 entries for the merch. Michael Ronquillo is going to get like 40. So he sent in a 100, so he's going to get like 40 entries. But if you want to get in on some Chat Sports swag, we're going to give it away during free agency. We're going to give this away during free agency. The wheel has a bunch of names already compiled in it. We will give something away during free agency. You can send in your super chat right here. And $5 is 2 entries for merch. 10 is 5 entries. $20 is 10 entries. And $50 is 20 entries. You send in 100, you're going to get 40 entries. That's crazy. We got another super chat coming in. All right, let's answer those supers, and then we'll get on with today's show. But this is what you guys can win. We're going to give you a Broncos Breakdown hat, maybe a Broncos Breakdown shirt if you win this wheel spin. Sue Gibson coming in. No, that's correct. I thought it was Bison. That's my bad. Because they were all combined together. So Sue Gibson coming in. That was brutal reading on my end. Hey, Moose, what is your take on Kenyon Sadiq? We're going to talk about Kenyon Sadiq on today's episode. I think he is a generational prospect. Generational. This kid is going to be something very special. I mean, first of all, he's built like a brick shit house. Second of all, he ran the most ridiculous 40-yard dash time I think I've ever seen. I bet you Sean Payton is licking his chops to get his hands on a player like Kenyon Sadiq. The only problem is you'd have to trade up to get him. The odds are he's going to be gone before 30. So we'd have to trade up and get him. But I think that could be something. If he's there at like 23, if he's there at like pick 23 or 24, I'll bet you the Broncos make a move and go up and get him. I bet you they do. Zavi, if we draft a running back, what about Demond Claiborne? I don't think I've ever heard of him before. Claiborne? Damon Claiborne? Do you know that name? Check it out. Damon Claiborne. Demond Claiborne. For... Who? I can't... Oh, yeah. No. Wake Forest. I've never heard of him. I don't think, though, that the Broncos are going to go after a guy like that. I think they've got their sights on a guy like Jadarian Price. They've got their sights set on a guy like Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. Jonah Coleman from Washington. Who's the kid? Mike Washington from Arkansas. He's unbelievable. So there's another, there's plenty of guys that we could go out and get. Yeah, Mike Washington's unbelievable. That dude's insane. What do you think about Cameron Jordan as a JFM replacement? I don't hate that. Sean Payton connection. I don't hate it at all. Now, the only problem with that is, Devontae, he's 36. Like, he's old. He's not a spring chicken. But on a one-year deal, sure, why not? Why not? Especially if Payton calls him up and he says something like, hey, do you want to win a Super Bowl again? Or not again, because he was drafted afterwards. Do you want to win a Super Bowl? Come join the Broncos. Jadarian Price got mixed reviews at the Combine. I've watched every snap of Jadarian Price's career at Notre Dame. He's special. And he could play on special teams. So there's a lot to love about Jadarian Price. All right, before we get started, we've got 170 people in the building. We got to get to 50 likes before we start today's show. 50 likes before we start today's show. If you want the show to start, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon while I check this message from my wife here. She's at the doctor's right now checking out her throat. She's got a really bad sore throat. No, that's okay. Oh, yeah, by the way, let's go over what we have on today's show. I can't believe we're actually going to talk about this. By the way, we have to change that because that's new information. Yeah, don't worry about it. You can just you can read only it in a second. I can't believe we actually have to talk about Stefon Diggs potentially being a Bronco, and yet there's still more and more juice surrounding this. Every single time I open up Google and every single time I open up Twitter or any social media account. So we got to talk about it. We have to briefly mentioned it on an episode that we did yesterday, but we're going to do a little bit more of an in-depth dive here on Stefon Diggs potentially becoming a Bronco. I don't want it to happen. Final Broncos free agent targets before Monday because legal tampering period starts on Monday the 9th. And then, of course, we've got the Broncos making a signing to Alex Palczewski. What does that mean for Ben Powers, and what does this mean in the Broncos trade market? I think there might be something there. We'll still continue to talk about everything coming up here on the show. Let me just make sure. Honey Bear with the $20 super. No, let's rip it right now. Let's rip it right now. Shout out to you, Honey Bear. With the $20 soup. And Honey Bear, you're going to get 10 entries here. I'm going to put that name down for you. Honey Bear. Put this in here. Just got to make sure I write these down before I forget. There we go. All right, Honey Bear writes, I'm excited about this year's draft. 2 generational talents at key positions that we need. Kenyon Sadiq for sure, and Sonny Styles. We have to trade up, right? It's a no-brainer. I agree with you trading up, not for Sonny Styles. I don't think you trade up for a linebacker. I do think you would trade up for Kenyon Sadiq. I mean, the guy's 6'3", 240 pounds, and he ran a 4.4 exactly? Or maybe he was faster than that. Was it a 4.4 flat? I think it was. No, I think it was a 4.4 flat, if I'm remembering correctly. I have it written down here. It's one of our graphics. Oh, no, I deleted it. Oh, I do still have it? Where's that at? A 4.39 is crazy. That's unbelievable. All right, I have to gather myself here. I'm all sorts of discombobulated. What is going on with me? Okay, we're good. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, there we go. We're fine. All right, we're good. Paul, that is a very rude question to ask. What's up, Fishy fam? Good to see you, buddy. Downs has a chance to drop. I don't want Caleb Downs. I think we're fine at safety. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Paul, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's just like, you don't ask someone how much they get paid. How much money do you make? It's just, that's all I'm saying. All right, here we go. We're going to do our first one. Remember, it is here, pull that back up real quick. Yes, good. Okay. We're going to talk about, Josh, good to see you, buddy. We're going to talk about Alex Palczewski signing his 2-year extension with the Denver Broncos, what this means for Ben Powers, and does this signify something bigger for the Broncos looming in the darkness right now? I think there's a legitimate chance. Everybody thinks I'm smoking crack in the office. I actually got asked that question today. Are you smoking crack? And I don't think I am. I am reading between the lines. I think there's a big play here. But we'll talk about it here in just a little bit. Let's get started with our first Broncos episode, all about Alex Palczewski signing his 2-year extension. Some recent unexpected good news if you are a Broncos fan. Alex Palczewski, offensive guard and kind of swing offensive lineman, has signed a 2-year extension with your Denver Broncos, keeping him here throughout the 2027 season. Welcome in Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown. I am your host, Trace Moustakis, but please call me Moose. I prefer it that way. Tom Pelissero was the very first one on this, reporting it that Alex Palcho, as we call him, is going to be staying at Mile High for quite some time. Started 10 games this year at left guard in the place of Ben Powers, who had that bicep injury, and he did a very good job. I wouldn't say it was an elite performance. I wouldn't say it was a bad performance or even an okay performance. He did very well. Enough to keep him here at Mile High. First things first, I got to congratulate Alex Palczewski. Well done. He absolutely deserves this. There is no better story than a guy coming in, earning himself away onto the 53-man roster, and then, of course, getting paid millions of dollars to play football. It's what every single kid who plays football growing up dreams of. And this is exactly why we wanted him back, because he is a great story and a very good football player. So, if you like the move, if you think it was smart by the Broncos to bring back a nice little versatile movement piece on the offensive line, a nice swing offensive lineman, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up icon. Show your support for our guy, Palcho. And like I told you, he's absolutely deserving of it. Not only because of the story, but the on-the-field play was really, really good. He played 665 total offensive snaps, allowed 1 total sack, and only 3 penalties. That's good enough for regular starting offensive linemen, let alone a backup. So a backup comes in the Sean Payton sort of system and just dominates it. Now, I know that this graph is going to be very, very hard to see here coming up here in a second, so I'll do my best to kind of verbalize this for you. Essentially, what you're looking at is a pressure rate graph allowed here. And Palczewski comes in at number 19 at 5.19%. So, obviously, being close to number 1, or as close to number 1 as possible, is really, really good. Joe Thuney led everybody in pressure rate allowed last year for the guards, the left guard position, that is, at 2.19%. Palczewski coming in at 19 doesn't put him in the top half, but remember, he's a backup. So a backup comes in and holds his own while our starter, Ben Powers, is out. That is beyond good enough, if you ask me, which is exactly why the Broncos decided we see value in you. If you come in, hold your own, and can seemingly still help this team win football games, you have a spot here on the team. And everybody in the locker room loves him. Now, you're looking at the Broncos' offensive line depth chart right now, which is one of the best in the league, by the way. It's top 3 for sure. To me, it's probably number 1. But it all comes down to the money, right? Mike Kliss reporting where all of this kind of stemmed from. $3.52 million was his first tender. The second tender, which was a little bit higher, would have been a 5.77. There's actually, at the time of this recording, no actual price as to how much he's making. I'll I think we'll find out that coming up here in just a little bit. But at the time of this recording, don't shame me for this. There is no actual number that we have. But you can expect it's going to be somewhere in this vicinity right here. But there's a deeper meaning to all of this, right? If you sign a backup to a 2-year extension, what does that mean for your starter? What does this mean for Ben Powers? I think there is a little bit more to this than meets the eye. First of all, Ben Powers has been linked to trades all offseason. It was actually a name that kind of surprised me when the season ended after the AFC Championship game. I was like, the Broncos are going to, or not going to, but they've been linked to trading Ben Powers? There's been rumors that they're going to trade Ben Powers. Where is this coming from? The continuity on the Broncos offensive line makes way too much sense. Why would we do this? And then you get the breakdown. You do a little bit more homework and more research, and you realize, oh shit, this might make a lot more sense than I originally thought. Here's what Predominantly Orange, one of my favorite Broncos blogs, I highly recommend you check them out if you haven't. Here's what they said about a Ben Powers trade. Releasing or trading Powers post June 1st creates nearly $13 million in cap savings. Doing so also leaves behind $5.42 million only in dead money, which is a palatable debt, albeit less than ideal because you don't want to have any dead money. But a Broncos club with a quarterback on a rookie deal like Bo Nix can especially absorb this sunken cost for the greater good. Here's why. Time is of the essence for the Broncos to decide Ben Powers' future. They don't get much, if any, financial relief next year when he becomes a free agent. So in other words, Denver now has a prime opportunity and an expiring timeline coming up next year. And just as I mentioned before, if you're getting Palczewski at 21 pressures allowed in Ben Powers at 11 pressures allowed in half of the games, I mean, look, here's the game started. Ben Powers started 6. Palcho started 10. So it's almost on the exact same trajectory. I mean, look, those are half the numbers in half the games. So the ultimate take comes down to this. I think Powers is better than Palczewski, but not by much. If you're getting 80 to 85% of Ben Powers in Alex Palczewski, isn't it worth taking the cheaper option? Isn't it worth exploring a trade for a guy like Ben Powers? I certainly think so. That's just business, guys. I mean, you see value in someone that costs half as much. What does that say about the guy that's costing you twice as much? They're expendable. They're replaceable. It's just economics, my friends. Supply and demand. It all comes down to the very basic principle of if Palczewski is giving you just as much or right up nuzzled next to the same amount of productivity that Ben Powers is, why would you pay Ben Powers all of that money or keep him on the books if Palczewski could slide into the starting role? So to me, it feels like the Broncos are probably moving on from Ben Powers. If you agree with me, type your yes or type your no down in the comment section down below. If you're watching during our live show, type your yes in the live chat or type your no in the live chat. Defend your answer, though, as always. I want the explanations from Broncos country. You're smart football fans. I expect a good and detailed answer down in the comment section down below. Coming up next, is Denver gearing up for a trade? Speaking of trading Ben Powers. Now, I got called a crack addict for this, by the way. Some very harsh words were thrown around here in the Chat Sports office. They said that the trade that I cooked up for this episode, they said I was nuts. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's not that nuts. And producer JD is like, there's a little bit more to this than you think. But before we tell you what that is, I got to remind you guys that this amazing deal that we've got going on for our Broncos Breakdown St. Paddy's Day merch is limited time only. Think about it. We're only 12 days away at the time of this recording from St. Patrick's Day. So if you want to get this Denver Drinking Team t-shirt, I'm going to be sporting mine on St. Paddy's Day. Go to chatsports.com/DenverGreen, or do me one better. I'll put the link in the comments and description for you. So use that link, click on it, and go start shopping today. There's plenty of gear like this Beers hat, chatsports.com/Beers. There's Broncos Breakdown hats. There's Broncos Breakdown t-shirts. Anything that you need to support the show and rock the very best Broncos gear, do it with with the links that we're putting in the comments and description of today's video. Look how sweet that design is, too. Shout out to our boss, James Yoder. All right, let's go back to the trade rumors. What do we know so far? Ben Powers linked to multiple trades this offseason, going back to at the very end of the AFC Championship game. We also just got the word 2 days ago that the Broncos were taking trade calls on Jarrett Stidham. That's sourced. That's from Diana Rossini. That's from Zach Stevens. That's from Kliss. That's from all the Broncos guys, Benjamin Albright. The Broncos are fielding calls on this guy. He's been linked. And there's one team, just one, that I think is severely interested. Are the Jets just kind of hanging around? I think they are. Do you ever sit down at the dinner table and you're eating your food and it's really, really good? You're like, man, this is a great meal that I cooked up for myself. And your younger sibling is just kind of lurking in the hallway, staring at you eating. You know that they want to bite, but you're not ready to give it up yet because there's nothing in it for you. So it's like, what are you going to give me if I'm going to give you a bite of this delicious food? The Jets are the younger sibling in that situation. And what do we know about their free agency sort of situation? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Here we go. In case you didn't know anything about the Jets, because they're mega booty cheeks, actually. Both offensive guards for the Jets are free agents this year. So there's a need for a guard. Interesting. Ben Powers is a guard. We highly suspect that they've made calls on Stidham. They've been calling around asking for a quarterback because they're going to cut Justin Fields. So they need a quarterback. They need a guard. Well, who's got a quarterback and a guard? The Broncos. And we already know that there is reported mutual interest from Breece Hall and the Broncos on both sides. I know it sounds like I'm reaching here, but just hear me out. I know that we've been reporting Kenneth Walker, and I still think that's a legitimate possibility, probably plan A. But in the event that you could still get your paws on Breece Hall, I think that still kind of is just looming around in the shadows around Mile High. And remember, Jonathan Jones, insider from CBS Sports, came out with an article saying that the Broncos were going to make a splash signing at running back. Actually, what he said was a splash at the running back position. Sourced information is being leaked to Jonathan Jones from teams. So the latest free agency buzz before the free agency period, sourced information, Broncos going to make a splash at running back. Here's the official quote. The Broncos are poised to make a splash at running back next week. Denver is the reason why the Jets use the franchise tag on Breece Hall rather than the transition tag. According to sources, making sure that Denver wouldn't get the opportunity to put together an offer the Jets would refuse to match. A few connections there underline the tango. Darren Muji came from Denver. He was the assistant GM to George Paton, while the Broncos running backs coach Lou Etienne identified Hall as a high school prospect years ago and recruited him to Iowa State before Etienne left for Northwestern and then eventually the NFL. So there's already a connection there between the Broncos and Breece Hall. The Broncos would be an obvious landing spot for Kenneth Walker, obviously, but the team could also opt for Travis Etienne for a more affordable running back. Something stinks in the water right now. As much as I can link Kenneth Walker and Travis Etienne to the Broncos, and trust me, those are real possibilities, so don't take those away. I still believe, crazy as it sounds, there might be a trade for Breece Hall. It's low, it's very, very low, and it's all skepticism, but there might be a trade. So here's the cooked up trade for you. The hear me out trade is what I'm calling it. Ben Powers, Jarrett Stidham, a 4th round pick that we got from New Orleans in the Devon Vele trade. We get Breece Hall in a 6th. Jarrett Stidham is valued at a 5th round pick, and Ben Powers would probably be valued also at about a 4th or a 5th round pick. So essentially, you'd be getting 2 4ths and a 5th for Breece Hall in a 6th. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. I'm just saying. I know it's a little bit of a reach. It's not crazy, though. But I'll ask you, am I crazy? Am I loco? Am I cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Or let me know in the live chat. Like I told you, I still think this is a lower possibility. There is still a real chance that you could see Breece Hall in a Denver Broncos uniform, and that would be unbelievable. I'd go absolutely ballistic for it. But that's all I got for you on this episode. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up icon, and as always, Broncos country, a mile-high salute. Be cool. Yeah. What do you guys think? Zaby coming in. Never mind, just watch Mike Washington Jr. I want him. Shouldn't be able to move up that fast and be that big, plus Sean likes taller players. Yeah, Mike Washington's unbelievable, dude. Mike Washington is unbelievable, man. If the Broncos got him, you are looking at a home run hitter. But we'll see. We'll see. But thank you for your $5 super chat, Zavi. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. We got one more. Caleb. I'll do you one better. I think we could do Ben, Stiddy, and JK for Breece in a 5th. Keep the 4th. Well, you can't trade J.K. Dobbins. He's a free agent. But you could trade Ben and Stiddy. I think it's very possible. Very, very possible. Put up that trade one more time for me. Please. Please. I want your honest answer. Is this a crazy trade? You're giving up a starting caliber guard, but we already know they value Palczewski, so you'd have a starting guard replacement already. You'd make Sam Ehlinger your backup quarterback too, and you'd only be giving up a 4th-round pick that you got that isn't even yours. So you're giving up things that really don't affect you at all for Breece Hall. It's a good trade. We've got 9 picks, yeah. We've got a 1st, a 2nd. But remember, we were really good last year, so we don't have – all of those are at the very end of the rounds. 30th and then like 62. I think this is a great trade. I would package this together. Powers, Stidham in a 4th for Breece Hall in a 6th. Why not? We don't have a 6th round. That's the only round that we don't have a pick. Is a 6th-round pick. Yeah, exactly. Everything that you're giving up, you can replace. You can draft a guard to compete with Palczewski. You'll make Stidham your backup quarterback, or not Stidham, Ehlinger, and you only give up a 4th. That isn't even yours. Get a brain. Only good if Denver gets another pick, like in the 4th round as well. If not, definitely not going to happen. You're not getting a 3. You're not giving away 3 for 2. Nope. 3 for 2 happens all the time. Actually, it happens all the time. Jake. Oh, dude. Breece Hall, he'd be an all-pro. He'd be an all-pro. He'd be an all-pro. We're talking about a top 5 back in the league. Jake Peter coming in. What's up, Jake? Good to see you, buddy. Deleted all social media for a few months. Now I get all my Broncos news through this channel. Thanks, Boost. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. And also, social media cleanses are very, very good. Very, very good. Very needed from time to time. I go through a social media cleanse. For my job, it's different. Like, I'll stay on social media for my job only. But, like, there are times when I'll go a full week without opening Instagram, no TikTok, no Facebook, just clean it up. Just mental break from it. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Top 5 back, list them for me. Bijan, Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon Achane, Breece Hall. And Jonathan Taylor. You could so maybe Breece is 6. There you go. So I'll make fine. Breece is 6. Bijan, I'll go Bijan, McCaffrey, Taylor, Gibbs, Achane, and then Breece. That is a very good top 6 right there. Coach! Oh, shit. What up, Coach? Good to see you, buddy. And we're getting a lot. Coach Chris, you're getting more, my friend. More. Am I crazy? Was that a bad list? Was that a bad top 6 running back list? I think that's pretty fair. Derrick Henry, yeah, Derrick Henry's up there too, but God, there's so many good running backs. By the way, John Franklin Myers is gone. Do we get a John Emery trade? We did, John. What's up, buddy? Well, let's go with Coach first. What up, Moose? What's up, Coach? Beer bong time. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'll do one. At the end of the show. As you know, I love the show. Thank you, my friend, for being a great fan. Not in agreement about the extension of Alex, but it is what it is. Getting low in the salary cap, need to start working the others to free up some space. I'm telling you, keep your eye on the Ben Powers and Jarrett Stidham trade. I think that could happen over the weekend. And if not over the weekend, certainly during free agency. So just keep your eye on it. That's all I'm saying. Keep your eye on it. But, Coach, you've been an unbelievable supporter of the show. Thank you so much for everything that you've done and everything that you've donated. You are a real one for sure. Let's go to John Emery coming in with his $5 super chat. How about this trade to the Jets? Sticky, meaning steady. Steady, Powers, and a magical swap first round for Breece Hall. Then Denver could draft Sadiq and sign Walker. It's not enough for the Jets. But I mean, in theory, like if this was the perfect ideal world, yes, all of this would happen. But probably not enough for the Jets, just being honest about it. Uriah, what do you think of DJ Moore to the Bills? They overpaid for him. I thought that when I first saw the trade, it was good. I thought both sides benefited. Then I was like, well, what are they actually giving up? And then Brandon Beane, the GM of the Bills, gave up a second-round pick for an aging wide receiver who was coming off a pretty bad year. And I was like, yeah, that's way too much to give up. I would have given up like a third or a fourth for DJ Moore. But, I mean, hey, they are going for broke, Timothy. That is correct. They are going for broke. What's up? Yes. Correct. All right. Let's talk about Stefon Diggs. Dude, James Cook is not better than Breece Hall. Stop. James Cook is not better than Breece Hall. Saquon, you could make the argument because of 2 years ago, but last year he wasn't nearly as good. You guys are forgetting. Breece Hall has shown what he's capable of, and he plays for the fucking Jets. The Jets suck at everything. You put Breece Hall on the Broncos, that is a top 5 back. I'm telling you. Without a doubt. Breece Hall does everything well. James Cook.
With the right O-line, I think he can easily surpass Barkley and McCaffrey already.
McCaffrey's getting older. So there's some stuff there. Saquon. Saquon's tough to evaluate right now, man, because they still have a great offensive line, and Saquon did not have that great of a year. They just kind of they went away from the run, though. They stopped, like, there were some games, like against the Bears. Saquon ran for he had 8 rushing attempts. It was so weird. Yeah. Yeah, I think people sleep on Breece Hall so much because he plays for the Jets. Look what happened when Saquon left the Giants and went to an organization like the Eagles. Not only did they win a Super Bowl, he had one of the best seasons a running back has ever had. He almost broke the record. So, Jed coming in with a 5. We'll get to that afterwards. Thank you, Jed. The difference is they all have weapons on offense. Hall has Wilson. Yeah, I'm telling you, Breece Hall on the Broncos is an all-pro. He is an all-pro. The talent is there. He plays for the worst organization in football. Number 32. There is not a worse he'd be better on the Browns. He would. He's an all-pro if he plays for the Broncos. Mark my words. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about Stefon Diggs for whatever effing reason. I can't. I'm getting so angry about the Stefon Diggs stuff, but I have to make a video because I keep seeing it. Every article written now is, should we have interest in Stefon Diggs? No. All right, here we go. I can't believe I'm making this video. Ops galore here on Broncos Breakdown, and this is ops number 1 right here, Mr. Stefon Diggs. Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. I have to bring up this video, and I have to do this video because this is one of the hottest names surrounding the Broncos right now. I can't tell you how many articles I've seen. Should the Broncos sign Stefon Diggs? He's been released by the New England Patriots. Trust me, we're going to break down everything you need to know about Mr. Diggs and what he's going through and why there's a connection to the Denver Broncos. First things first, though. He's a headache, man. Not just in the legal aspect of everything, with everything that he's been facing off the field, but on the field as well. There's just always drama. There's always a story. There's always some crazy thing going on with Stefon Diggs. I just, dude, can we just get off the Stefon Diggs thing for a second? Because here's the issues going on right now. First of all, he's got a child with Cardi B. Now, that's not drama in and of itself. I'm happy that they have a child together. But he is the baby daddy of a huge, mega rap star. And that brings in and of itself its own off-the-field issues, just like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. He's facing assault allegations as we speak. He might not play next year. He's got locker room sound bites that go all the way back to his time at Minnesota, where everybody says, yeah, I kind of wanted him to keep him away from my sister. I wouldn't want my sister to date him. And, of course, most recently, the boat video where there's a substance, a pink substance, that nobody quite knows what it is, but we all kind of know what it is, don't we? Don't we? I'm just going to leave it at that. So you get all these issues with Stefon Diggs. And the question surrounding all of this is, with all the weird offseason and in-season craziness that Stefon Diggs brings, why would you want to disrupt the locker room? The Broncos have a brotherhood. They fight for each other, tooth and nail every single day. They love each other. They respect each other. They are a brotherhood locker room. Stefon Diggs loves Stefon Diggs. And more importantly, there's no guarantee that he plays this season. If he is found guilty of the charges of assault that he's facing, he could face a serious suspension from the NFL, 15, 16 games, almost an entire season long. Why would you want to risk that? Because potentially there is a chance that he has interest in signing with you? Come on, man. Come on. Now, for all the Diggs supporters, I'll say this. They are vehemently denying the charges against him. This was a statement from Stefon Diggs' attorney. Most recently, I think it was a couple weeks ago that he sent this, but he is completely innocent of all these false allegations that have been alleged against him. We are confident that after the facts and evidence reviewed in this case, he will be completely exonerated. I do want to be very clear. These are all allegations. Nothing has been proven in court yet. He deserves his day in court, which believe it or not, is April 1st. So we've got less than a month before he actually goes to court. And I get it. Stefon Diggs has some juice left in the tank. And if he wanted to sign with the Broncos, he would be a very, very cheap option, in my opinion, because let's be clear, the Broncos are not going to sign him to a multi-year, huge contract extension like the Patriots did. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's also a connection to the Denver Broncos. This isn't made up. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. This is legitimately reported on. He almost signed with the Broncos in the 2025 offseason. Ian Rappaport reported that. It was between the Broncos and the Patriots. He chose the Patriots. He is great friends and former teammates with Davis Webb. He said that verbatim. He loves Sean Payton and his offense and how it operates. And if you don't believe me still, we've got video proof from the Super Bowl of Stefon Diggs talking about the Broncos, Davis Webb, and Sean Payton. Now, I'll be very clear, this is kind of hard to hear, so I'll try to do my best to surmise it after this is done. But just take a listen to what Stefon Diggs had to say about Davis Webb and the Broncos.
Mainly when I was signing, you kind of got to, it's like a figure it out kind of process. And I kind of, lean towards my experience. I played against Sean Payton a lot. I seen what his offense can do. So that was one thing. And then a couple of people in his staff that I knew, Davis Webb, I was familiar with. He helped me a lot in Buffalo as far as like learning the plays. Buffalo was a different place, their offensive scheme with Dayball, he ran a lot of stuff. So Davis Webb knew a lot of that. He taught me a lot of offense. He's a good friend of mine. I think he's going to be a hell of a coach one day.
So here's a little transcription of all of that really quickly, briefly, Spark Notes version. He talked about Davis Webb and how close they were as teammates and as friends. And he said that Davis Webb helped him learn the offense in Buffalo. He also talked about how Sean Payton's offense is very, very appealing to him and how he knows like how they kind of like to score points. So there is an actual connection from Mile High to Stefon Diggs. That's not made up. So the likelihood that the Broncos sign Stefon Diggs, in my opinion, is less than 50%, only because of the off-the-field stuff. If Stefon Diggs didn't have any off-season drama, this would probably be like an 80 or a 90%. But I don't think they want to take and risk the headache. I really don't. You don't want it to bring that type of locker room presence into what you've already built. So I'm going to say like 30%, 33%. You let me know down in the comment section down below. Speaking of free agents, though, and signings, we're going to give you the latest on two Broncos free agents, Alex Singleton and Justin Strnad, and what that kind of looks like between the two of them coming up here in 2026 free agency, which, of course, is only 4 days away at the time of this recording. Before we continue on with them, I got to tell you about the sweet deal that we've got with St. Patty's Day merch. Chatsports.com/Denver Green. You get the very best Denver Broncos breakdown merch, including this awesome shirt, which I'm going to be wearing. So make sure that you use the link that we've put in the comments and description of today's video. But it goes beyond that. You can get beers, hats that we've just launched. These are really, really cool and very simply put. You can wear these in green, black, navy, whatever color you want. So chatsports.com/beers, chatsports.com/Denver Green. All of that is going to be in the comments and description of today's video. So, the free agents that we are going to briefly touch on here. Alex Singleton and Justin Strnad, both linebackers. So, we've been hearing a lot around Alex Singleton. And Justin Strnad's been a little bit more quiet of a name here, but Sean Payton did mention both of them when he was asked, about them coming back to the Broncos this upcoming season. Here's what he had to say specifically. Alex and Justin, we'd love to have those guys back. We'd love to have them back regardless of what's in the draft. We see those guys as Broncos. Okay, so very telling stuff. But it's not up to how much you love a player. It isn't. You can love a player a lot. Doesn't mean that you're going to keep him. What does the money look like? This is a business. So retaining players is all about what you can offer them in a contract. So let's start with Alex Singleton. I love Alex Singleton. As a person, as a player, and what he's meant to Broncos country, I love Alex Singleton. And I think if you were to bring back Alex Singleton on the right price, I'm totally okay with it. And according to Zach Stevens of DNVR, shout out my boy Zach, Denver has already started to make a push to keep Alex Singleton. So it sounds like they're already in contract negotiations to bring this guy back. Okay, sounds great. But not at the price that I would like. According to Spotrac, he was set to make $6 million. He was at $6 million last season. So this season would be $6 million if he was still on the same contract. There's rumors that he is going to be making well beyond that. We'll touch on it in a second. But let's go back to the numbers. 135 tackles. Productivity galore. 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and a PFF grade of 70.4. I think from a numbers perspective, you saw a lot there. So that's great. And it goes beyond that. Let's talk about the advanced analytics. 12th highest run stopping grade of all linebackers in the NFL in 2025. But the rumors are swirling that Singleton's camp and Singleton want $10 million per year. He turns 33 years old in December, guys. So despite the fact that he has been excellent for the Broncos, $10 million a year for a player that's turning 33, that is way too much money for an aging linebacker. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the one to rain on your parade, but that's a lot of money. I mean, hell, you paid Evan Ingram $10 million a year, right? And now we're looking at that contract and we're like, fuck, we way overpaid for Evan Ingram. Alex Singleton, I get it, different position, but he turns 33 in December. That's a lot. So you know where I stand on that. I would not pay that much for an aging linebacker. Let's talk about Justin Strnad really quick. He's been really quiet. I haven't heard a lot about Justin Strnad other than that little quote by Sean Payton. There's no word on if they worked out a deal or not. My gut feeling tells me that he's going to hit free agency and try to sign with somebody else, get himself a higher payday. But, again, for a backup rotational running back, linebacker, excellent. 58 tackles, 5 for loss, 4.5 sacks, PFF grade even higher than Alex Singleton. Strnad was awesome. I would much rather keep Strnad, spoiler alert, than I would keep Singleton. Because, look, he's younger, he's cheaper, and he played very well last year. So, final take from Moose, I'd rather have Strnad. If I were to prioritize paying one of those two guys, it would be Strnad over Singleton. All day and twice on Sunday. I love Alex Singleton. I think he's gone through a lot. With the cancer diagnosis, my thoughts and prayers went out to him. I'm so happy that he showed unbelievable fortitude and determination and just, moxie as a person to go back out and get back onto the field after being diagnosed with cancer. That is a great story. But I also have to report on what I think is best for the Broncos. And what I think is best for the Broncos would be typing my JS. So let me know. If you pick Alex Singleton, type AS. If you pick Justin Strnad, type JS. AS, JS. Let me know. I'm typing JS for Justin Strnad. Nothing to Alex Singleton. I hope he gets his money. I just wouldn't pay him that kind of salary. That's all I got for you on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up icon as well. And as always, Broncos country, a mile high salute. Be cool. D4L Coach Chris Bang! Let's go! Shout out to you, Coach. As far as Walker goes, anything over $10 to $12 million, I am taking a pass. Pierce would be great, and no to prisoner 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, Stefon Diggs. No way AJ is coming here from Philly. Wants the world. Everyone hit the like and subscribe, or else Moose will kick your butt. All of these things are very, very true, by the way. You're not going to get Alec Pierce. They're already working out a deal for him in Indy. He's not coming to the Broncos. He's going to stay a Colt. I would overpay for Kenneth Walker, though. I would overpay for Kenneth Walker. I would pay Kenneth Walker $13 million a year. Sometimes you gotta pay, and that's who I'd pay. I'd pay Kenneth Walker. That's just where I'm at right now. But, Coach, legend, bro. Can't say it enough how much I appreciate everything that you do. Jake Peter. Need to get the time machine and bring back the rookie Philip Lindsay. Yeah, dude never fumbled. I'll never forget watching the Colorado kid in the 28 and 2019 seasons. Dude, Philip Lindsay was so much fun to watch. It was so cool. Philip Lindsay's a great story. And also, just a Broncos favorite for sure, man. Everybody loved Philip Lindsay. Jed coming in with that $5 super chat. Thank you for your support, my friend Jed. Okay. Yeah, JS, guys. You could put up that way into there really quick of the pick in the linebacker. I love Singleton. He's going to be 33. That's just where I'm at. But it does look like the Broncos are going to bring him back, so we'll see. We will see. What's going on with my freaking computer? I've had computer issues again today. I think I need a new one. I think it's time to just punt on this thing. I think it's just time to punt. Bobby, some bands in my bank account. Got me some bands on my bank account. I sent it without a Jed. That's okay, man. Hey, next time, put a message in there. But hey, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You get 2 raffle tickets, by the way, Jed. I'm going to put his name back in there. Coach Cruz. Burn. There we go, Coach. By the way, are you guys going to be joining us on Monday? We're going to be live pretty much the whole day. I got to pee again. Dude, I've peed like 5 times today. I've drank a lot of water, though. Bada, baby. Abigail, I need it. You guys know Dave Blunt's? Sweet, Jed. Looking forward to it, my guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Bright and early. We're going to be live at 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. Hopefully we get the noti that, boom, Kenneth Walker signs with the Broncos. All right, we've got one more for you. Final free agent targets from Moose. Final free agent targets from Moose. Will it be Moose and Bo Alper? Boo Alper? Alper is actually going to be doing a lot more of our main content this time. So probably won't see Alper on Broncos. Maybe he'll jump in for a little bit. Who knows? Jonathan, I could not agree more with you, man. That is the best. All the people who complained about no run game now still they don't want Walker. It's like you want a running back, but you don't want to pay running back money. Correct. That's correct, Michael. But the legal tampering period starts Monday the 9th. So all the deals will be done in perpetuity on the 9th. So if Kenneth Walker signs with the Broncos, we will most likely get the notification on Monday. All right, you ready? God, dude, I have to pee so bad. You know what? Put yourself up on screen. I got to pee really quick. Sorry about that. I'll be right back, guys. I got to pee really quick. There we go. Put yourself up on the screen, my friends, and entertain the masses. You can put something else up. We just did that one. There you go. All right, go ahead and push it through. Ah! There we go. Oh, you can answer that $5 super too. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
How we doing, everyone? Let me make sure y'all can hear me first. How's everyone's day going? But y'all see the question. I'm asking y'all again. Who is your final Broncos free agent target? Mine, personally, obvious one, Kenneth Walker. Dude is a beast. I have loved him ever since he joined the Seattle Seahawks. Injuries are a little bit of a concern, but I mean, he's a stud. I do like Etienne too as well. There's a lot of good running backs, honestly. But let's see. Looking at the chats here. Jay, you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, you're all right. Hey, you gotta go, you gotta go. Who's having P, so you're holding it down now. Kenneth Walker, 100%, love that. I sound like, hey, I think it's the mic, man. I'll try my best. Does that sound a little bit better, hopefully? He just wanted you. Yeah, I mean, he did just want you. And the MVP. I think he's still hungry. How can he not be hungry? He wants, like, I think he can easily go and win a second title with the Broncos. Back-to-back titles with two different teams. Much better, Timothy. Great. Love that y'all can hear me a lot clearer now. But also, got a super chat. Let's go ahead and get that up. So, if you're saying Algier, do you expect J.K. Dobbins to be RB1? I mean, that's kind of hard. He has the talent, but like Musa said, he's more of a joker running back. I don't think he can take over that RB1 role. Algier, I don't think he can either. He's a good RB2. I don't think he can be an RB1 though. As far as Goddard and Naylor, stats don't show him justice, but he's honestly a stud. He's a freak athlete. He's a great one-on-one receiver. I think that's a good target to go after as well.
I am bike. Oh, sorry about that, gentlemen and ladies. I had to go to the bathroom very badly. Okay, we're back. There we go. Okay. Let's do this. Last bit of news. Moose's final free agent targets. Yes, we know that Hall got tagged, but you could still trade for him. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Just a few days away, Broncos country, from the legal tampering period of NFL free agency. So it is officially time that I give you my final free agent targets for the Denver Broncos. Welcome in, Broncos country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and I got something to tell you. We are going to be live for free agency. We've got plenty of stuff going on Monday because legal tampering begins on March 9th, meaning everything that can happen in perpetuity before the start of the new league year on March 11th, which is next Wednesday. The Broncos have been expected and reported to make a big splash running back signing, and that's why you subscribe. If you want to join the already growing 57,000 strong here on the Broncos Breakdown, I promise you I will do my very best to give you the latest Denver Broncos news and rumors surrounding your favorite football team. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into Moose's final free agent targets. I have four. Four guys that I think are must-go-afters. Let's start with the most obvious one. Kenneth Walker. Duh. I love Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker fits this team perfectly, not only in the zone concepts that Sean likes to run, but it is clear and obvious that when the lights are the brightest, this guy turns it on. And he turns it on in the best way. The best I've ever seen Kenneth Walker, by the way, was this most recent playoff period, which we'll touch on here in a second. But the numbers don't do it justice. He split a lot with Zach Charbonnet, and he still had over 1,000 yards, still had 4.5 yards higher in yards per carry. He had 282 total receiving yards, 5 total touchdowns. The guy's an animal. He is a freak, and he's so gifted. And that playoff run that I was talking about before the Super Bowl happened, 45 touches, 256 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and 8 explosive plays. Need I say more? Kenneth Walker can do everything in the running game very well. I know that there is some discrepancy right now about his ability to pass block, and he could probably be a little bit better of a pass catcher, but I've got news for you. We've got 2 running backs that can do that. R.J. Harvey can catch the football. Great as a joker. Great in open field. Great in the passing game. Tyler Bidet, excellent pass blocker. So do you need Kenneth Walker to be the pass blocker that everybody wants him to be? No. Do you need him to be the unbelievable dynamic dual threat like R.J. Harvey? No. Kenneth Walker does one thing that the Broncos are missing. Healthy this last year. The only real year that he was unhealthy was 2024. He's played in all 17 games and had a great healthy playoff run. And he's great between the tackles. Excellent between the tackles. What are some other strengths about Kenneth Walker? Those zone gap concepts, like I mentioned, elite breakaway speed, elite agility, underrated power. I could go on and on and on. This is the X factor for the Broncos in free agency. If you want to go from Super Bowl contenders to Super Bowl favorites, Kenneth Walker is your guy. And by the way, I'm not the only one that thinks this. Albert Breer, one of the NFL insiders, says Denver, Kansas City, and Seattle. Well, no longer Seattle, and Kansas City, they just traded Trent McDuffie. So my guess is they're not looking to make any more huge splashes. So Denver and the New York Giants sound like the only 2 places that are actually still interested in getting Kenneth Walker, that $13 million plus per year that he's looking for. And to that I say, go pay the man. Now, before we continue on with the latest on this list, I got to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Poly Market. Before we continue on with the video, here's what I'm looking to trade on Poly Market. For tonight's Knicks-Nuggets game, Poly Market is giving Denver a 50% chance to win, which is wild. The value there is just way too good. Denver has a great shot to beat New York at home tonight after a New York loss. For those reasons, I'm taking Denver at 50% to win this game. $100 wins you $200 if the Nugs take the dub. Plus, with Poly Market, you can trade in and out of momentum shifts without getting blocked or penalized. With in-game trading, once the Nuggets get up, I can either ride it out all the way or I could sell early. For example, if you buy at 50% and sell at 80%, you can snag a cool $160 payout. With how well that they've been playing, I expect that to rise very quickly. You cannot do this with a traditional sports book. So get started today. Poly Market is legal in all 50 states. Download the app now and get to the top of the wait list. The only way to do that is by clicking the link that I have put in the description and the comments of today's video. Believe it or not, I actually have Travis Etienne on this list as well. He comes in as my second free agent target, and I'll tell you why. If the Broncos are going to make a splash free agency signing, you cannot put all of your eggs in one basket. You've got to be the type that can be a little bit flexible. So my option B, my plan B, option 2, is Travis Etienne, who's not quite as gifted as a runner as Kenneth Walker, but also makes up for that lack of pure running talent in other areas like his pass catching ability. He's really, really good too. This is a B+ signing if it happens. So I wouldn't be upset about this. Not at all. If everybody thinks that I'm all in on Walker and that's the only thing, you're wrong. I would still be very okay with Travis Etienne. And the reason being is because he offers that dual threat ability. And believe it or not, statistically speaking, he had a far better year than Kenneth Walker did. Far better year. He scored 13 times. He's ridiculous as well. Now, like I told you, between the tackles, not nearly as good. And in 2024, for some reason, he had an awful year. Like, ridiculously bad. And uncharacteristically bad. Of course, goes into his contract year and just explodes. So maybe that was part of it. But what I do know is where he makes up for in the lack of like in between the tackles running, he makes up for in his ability to do it in the passing game. So you would have RJ Harvey, who's great in the passing game, and Etienne, who's great in the passing game. That is a dual threat if I've ever seen it. And he's better than Walker in that area. I'll admit that. I'll admit that wholeheartedly. He's a better dual threat running back than Kenneth Walker is. And the numbers, the advanced analytics, they back it up as well. Yards per attempt, 4.3, that tied for 32nd. So top half amongst qualifying running backs. Top half in yards after contact, or actually just outside top half. Carries of 10-plus yards, though, 12th. Missed tackles, 14th. Breakaway percentage, 21st. He's still really good. If I had to pick, though, who I want Kenneth Walker. I think he's a better pure runner, and I think that's what we've been dying for. Somebody that can run under center like Sean Payton said he wanted. But again, if this is an A, this is a B+. A, B+. That's what I would go with. But you let me know down in the comment section down below. Are you rolling with Kenneth Walker, type KW? Are you rolling with Travis Etienne, type TE? Let's flip over to the other side of the football really quick. I don't want to spend all the time on the offensive side. Let's go to the defensive side. Caden Ellis. Brother of Jonah Ellis, by the way, who is one of our edge rushers. But Caden Ellis is probably the best Ellis out of all of them, in my opinion. He's unbelievable. 107 tackles, 10 for loss, 3.5 sacks, 6 PBUs, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. The guy can do everything. He can drop back in coverage. He's a pressure player at the line of scrimmage. He surveys the middle of the field. Great football IQ, above average athleticism. He just does everything at an elite level. He stops the run. He's good in coverage. Missed tackle rate is really low. You name it, Caden Ellis can do it. Now, the only downside to Caden Ellis, he's 30 years old. That's still 3 years younger than Alex Singleton. This would be the perfect, ideal linebacker for Vance Joseph's defense. Versatility is the name of the game. Speed is the name of the game in Vance Joseph's defense. Caden Ellis has all of it. But it goes beyond just what I was talking about. The strengths continue to flow. His alignment and skill set versatility is just one of the many traits that he excels in. He's rush capable inside and outside. 4th most pass rushing snaps for a linebacker, so he can blitz. He's got great eyes and processing against the run and the pass. Good spatial awareness in coverage. Plays violent football. Everything that you want from a linebacker. He fits the need. And if Alex Singleton ends up deciding to go somewhere else or Justin Strnad does not come back, if you had a 3-man rotation of Caden Ellis, Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, not only is that the best linebacking trio in the league, it would be the most expensive as well. But you get my point. Now, there are reports that the Broncos are already in a workings with re-signing Alex Singleton, so maybe Caden Ellis doesn't make as much sense. But for my list specifically, I would absolutely take Caden Ellis in a heartbeat. And 2 Ellis brothers on the same team. Come on, it just sounds good. Final free agent target out of everybody. Mike Evans. Moose, we told you we didn't want him. I know what you said. But I'm telling you what I think. I think Mike Evans would be a perfect fit for this Broncos team. So, just based off of the most recent report that came out from Ian Rappaport and NFL insiders, Mike Evans told his agent, and his agent told the public, Mike has some team requirements, right? Some sort of four pillars that his next team must have in order for him to sign with them. A quarterback he believes in. Well, I'm pretty sure he believes in Bo. Check that off the list. Chance at a Super Bowl. Check that off the list. Top shelf OC. This is a question mark because Sean Payton gave up play calling duties to Davis Webb. We think Davis Webb is going to be great. I think he's going to be great. But that's still a question mark because he's never called plays before. So it's a question mark right now. Can't give it a green check. And the promise of high volume touches. He would be your number one. He would. He'd be 1A. Cortland Sutton would be 1B. So it makes sense. The stars are aligning here for Mike Evans at Mile High. So let's go to the full advanced analytics, will we? Now remember, Evans missed a good chunk of the 2025 season because of injury. So a lot of these numbers aren't going to look that great for you. But remember, majority of the season he spent injured. His agent came out and said his body is back to normal. He's healthy. He's ready to compete. So I trust that his agent is giving us good and solid information. If Mike Evans is healthy, we are still looking at another 1,000-yard wide receiver. Period. It's not the same Mike Evans. It's not the dominant Hall of Fame talent Mike Evans. It is still a very good Mike Evans. If he can give you a season that Cortland Sutton had statistically without the drops, I want to be clear about that, without the drops, you are looking at two Cortland Suttons essentially on the exact same team. Imagine if you cloned Cortland Sutton. That's kind of what Mike Evans is right now. So, who is your final Broncos free agent target? Let me know in the comment section down below. Kenneth Walker. That's mine. I want the Broncos to sign Kenneth Walker. I think it would be a great fit. But obviously, let me know in the comment section down below. That's all I got for you on this episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up icon. And, as always, Broncos country, a mile high salute. Be cool. Woo! Angelo, where would you see that? Where did you see that his agent said that? Devin Lloyd, a lot of links to him in the Cowboys. He's only 32. Shout out to Michael with the $20 soup. My NFL free agency signings are Tyler Algier, Devin Lloyd. Tyler Algier I would like. I wouldn't love. I would like. Devin Lloyd I would love. But I don't think he's going to come here. He's going to want a lot of money. Like a lot of money. Way more than Alex Singleton is asking for. Way more than $10 million a year. What article are you guys referencing? I don't know where you guys have been seeing that. But that doesn't sound right to me. Like, let me see. I'm going to look it up. Let me see here. Asked Mike Evans' agent Derek Gilmore if Evans has interest in the Broncos. They'd have to want to get rid of Cortland Sutton. I don't think they're going to do that. So I don't think Evans ends up there. I don't think he ends up there. That's the dumbest statement I've ever heard in my life. That is the dumbest statement I've... No, we're not doing that. We're doing that during free agency. Yeah. No, I like where your head's at, though, but we're doing that during free agency. No, you're good. You're fine. I'm reading it now. I'm reading it now. That is the dumbest statement I've ever heard from an agent in my entire life. They'd have to want to get rid of Courtland Sutton because what? You think that you won't get target shares with Court? Like, are you out of your mind, bro? You're 32. Like, be a 1A. Be a 1A. Do you think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase complain about fucking target shares? They both get a ton. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. I'm sorry. If you're 32 years old and you're like, you have to get rid of your number one wide receiver to sign me, fuck you. And also, if your agent I want to hear it from Mike. Young Feege. Young Feege, I have heard David Njoku likes the Eagles a lot. I've heard he likes the Eagles. What did I think about Darnell Mooney getting released? It needed to happen. He was awful last year. Also injured, but awful. Dar. What do you think some of the reports thinking that the Chiefs might get David Njoku? I've heard that he likes the Eagles a lot. That's what I've heard. Also, keep your eye on the Falcons. He has that relationship with Kevin Stefanski. So I don't think he's going to go to the Chiefs. Plus, they still got Kelsey. At least, unless Kelsey is actually retiring today. But everything that I've read says he's thinking about coming back. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Njoku goes to the Chiefs. I think he goes to the Eagles or he goes to the Falcons. One of those two. He's going to be a bird somewhere. All right, that's all I got for you today. My brain is mush today, guys. I apologize if I was a little out of it today, but it's the end of the week for us. We actually work on Sunday, so I will see you on Sunday with more Broncos news and rumors. Remember, Monday, we go live. So if you want to join, hit that subscribe button. We'll be live at 10 a.m. Central Time, 9 Mountain Time, 11 Eastern. That's when we'll be live. We'll be live all day for NFL free agency. That's all I've got for you. As always, a mile-high salute. Be cool.